Hey guys, welcome to the ND72 YouTube channel, and this is my CLK55. Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. It's Adam with ND72. So we're back with the CLK55. So if you remember the last video, we did the 15-inch rear wheel conversion with some drag radials and all that stuff. And oh my god, the car is super more fun to drive. So now on, like, if you remember before, even with the R888s, just because of how light the car is on the rear, we were kind of spinning doing like a 40 roll, a 50 roll. Now we hook up at 20 rolls, and on digs, I could kind of like, if I do a little bit of burnout, it'll hook up every time on the street. So it's super night and day difference. I'm like so happy with it. Definitely now I can actually start stripping more weight out of the rear. And once I get my limited slip, and even if we go to a prep surface, this thing should hook up almost every time. So now we can drop a lot more LBs. We can move some stuff around that's like, maybe get it out of the rear, move it to the center. We can move stuff around now if I wanted to. Now I have the option, because before I couldn't really lighten up the car anymore because we would just spin, so it's counterproductive. I would just be slower. But after having the car, I drove it around for about like 1 to 2 days, did like 25-30 pulls. We broke the car. So I'm gonna start showing you what kept breaking. So what was happening, I took it for a pull and it was running like poop. So what happened was the whole motor, now that I'm hooking up, before when you would spin it would kind of go like this a little bit, but now that I'm hooking up, the whole motor's twisting. So what it did, it kept ripping out this line, and then it actually sheared my map sensor. So it was basically like just jolting and breaking line after line, and I keep fixing it, and I was like, what the heck? And then I finally figured out why it was breaking all that stuff. I'm going to show you what I found right now. So as you can see, I completely destroyed the motor mounts. I guess like all the other times, the motor would just like flex a little bit, but you always had that like extra cushion when the tires spun and all that stuff. But now that it hooks up, like the momentum just like twists everything. So it ripped the factory style motor mounts out. And then with that whole jerking, it just kept like ripping stuff and breaking stuff left and right. So I kind of stopped driving the car, and I was like, man, like I could go buy another set of those like motor mounts. Like you can find sets of them where like 2 motor mounts and a trans mounts for roughly $100. The ones that are on this car were like literally the cheapest one I could find off Amazon. It was $45 for the set, and it lasted roughly 2 years, which is like, it's not really that bad for $45. And I never had an issue until I put these tires out ripped. So I think if you have like a factory or like a Black Series or a good quality one, you probably won't really have this issue, especially if you have like a little bit of spinning still off the line. But I had 2 options. I either could do Black Series ones, which are like $100 each, so it would have been like roughly 200 and change, which are a little bit stronger, but it's still the factory style, like hydraulic style motor mount. Or what on my other cars I actually have the East Coast Euro ones, but you can't even buy those anymore. So what I got, I'm going to show you right now. Alright, so this is what I ended up buying. These are from Creative Steel. These are actually solid motor mounts, so you get a cool little sticker. So here's what they look like out of the box and all that stuff. So what I ended up going, I went with their street version of it. So they also had a race version. So it's a fixed solid motor mount, like there's no flex or nothing. It has a little bit of cushion there. I've never tried this brand. This is the ones I usually always get. The East Coast Euro one, which these just look like art, basically. But you can't even buy them anymore, last I checked. And also the benefit of the East Coast Euro ones, if you can still find any, is you would take these Allens and you're able to service the insides of it to make it stiffer or what have you, but you can't even do that anymore. So these are basically nothing really pretty, but they do the job, and they're supposed to bolt right in for the CLK55. So they should be a night and day difference. And these were available on the shelf. I ordered them. I got them within like 2 or 3 days, and they're relatively inexpensive. I'll put a link below. They were, I think, like $310 shipped. So not the worst, but yeah, it even says blah, blah, blah. Well, please reuse the heat harness, blah, blah, blah. Do not torque bolts. See? Kind of gives you like all the specs you kind of need, AMG motors. So these should bolt right up. So we're going to put this into the garage, lift it up, and start pulling the motor mount. One other thing we're also going to do to the car, this is just like a little bit of a safety thing because the rear pads I grabbed off of this were used. The rotors were brand new that I bought, but also my front rotors were kind of like worn out. So we're going to go with a full set of just inexpensive cross-drilled and slotted rotors. You can say if they stop better or not. No matter what, they're a little bit lighter. I think it was like 0.9 pounds lighter in the rear roughly. So I'll drop a little bit of LBs on there. That way I got brand new pads, brand new rotors, brand new everything, and I'll keep the rotors that I did buy from O'Reilly's and just store them as spares just in case something happens. So into the car, I always first pull the bottom bolts off, and they're going to be straight up right there. It's going to be the bottom one. So that's going to be a 13. You got one there, and then you got the one there. I always do the bottom first, and I'm going to lower the car back down, and then knock out the tops and lift the motor. Now that I got those two 13s out, they look just like this. Nothing too crazy, not too long. I still got it a little bit lifted on the lift, and then I got the jack under there with a thing of wood. I'm going to pop the hood open, and then I should be able to get to the top bolts without lifting the engine, but I got to lift it up anyways to get the motor mounts out. So I don't know if you can see, but right over here is where the bolt is. So you're going to have a little bolt. So this one's going to bolt this little bolt and top piece. I'm going to clean all this stuff off. And to get that bolt off, what I use is I got a little special tool over here. So this little tool is like $15, and it helps you so much because you could get to the nut, and then you put an extension over there, and you can break it loose and do everything by hand. This is a game changer for the motor mounts, where it'll take it minutes to do it. So we're going to pull this one out and see what it looks like. So I lifted the motor mount up, and wow, you could just see even from right here the carnage of it. So let's pull this thing out. Drop it right on the bottom. Boop. Where you at? Where you at? There you are. Yeah. So, oh yeah, this was pretty ripped apart. So it's not in two pieces, but it was getting there. So you can see I can fit my whole hand right in there. This is destroyed. Just so you know, and look, even fluid and stuff is coming out of it. This thing is just knackered. Like, you can just hear it. So this was not absorbing anything. This was not holding the motor. It was able to just rip this thing right out. So definitely going to be a big upgrade. So there's them installed. This one I actually put the shield on. I'm going to put on both of them. I still got to put the top heat shield, but I was just trying to show you what they look like. That's the driver's side one, and then this is the passenger side one. So with all the shielding, this one still, I just put the top one on. I still got to rip it back off and put the bottom one on. That's kind of what they look like, so hopefully they work out good. Okay, so we get the motor mounts. So we get the solid motor mounts in, and so far the damage it still did. If you saw it ripped off my negative cable on the bottom, one of the ground wires, so I'm going to have to fix that. But I'm going to go fire up the car. We're going to see actually how much the motor jumps over. Hopefully it shouldn't really move at all. Okay, so you saw that was night and day difference. And in the car, for me looking on, I can't even see it move. So I'm going to have to relook at the video. But, I mean, the car feels fine. So next I'm going to do the tranny mount. I'm going to do just a factory style one, just because I wasn't really feeling anything. But I just wanted to replace it because I already have some parts. And then we're going to do brakes and pads and rotors all around. And we'll kind of weigh the ones that I pull off and the ones I'm throwing on. Hopefully I lose a little bit of LBs. And even if I don't, my front ones were warped anyways, where I have a small vibration. So I needed to get new ones anyways. So I'm going to close the hood and we're going to put it in the air. So this is the factory when I just pulled it out. It's pretty easy. It's a 13 here and then two 16s and then just put something under the tranny. But it looks like I'm ripped right around here on the back. You can see a little bit wear. I don't know if you can actually see it in the camera. You can see it in human form. But this is the brand new one. And it's basically solid all around. So I might have been feeling a little bit of vibration from this one. Maybe, but I mean, I had this laying around and it's probably like a 5-minute job. So we're going to go throw it in there, and then I got brand new tranny mount and 2 motor mounts. So that should basically help out a lot with the twisting. I'm going to throw it in now. All right, as you can see, I got the new one in. I kind of sprayed it down so it's easy with dripping just because there was some grease there. So these are pretty easy to do. It's going to be the 13s right here and the 16s right here. And you can move this bracket if you need to. Just make sure you support the tranny. But this will definitely help out a lot too. And then first what we're going to do, we're going to rip off the front rotors and pads. They're not really that new, but I'm just getting a little bit of warping. And with the kit, I got all new fronts and rears, and I kind of want everything to be matching, and it's better quality than what I got now. Pads aren't too bad. All right, so these are new ones, and these are the old ones. These old ones were pretty effing cheap because they don't come right and left. These are actually right and left, and we're going to see which one weighs more. All right. All right, so now we got the new one. 187.4. So this was 18.4 used. So this has a little bit of wear that probably came off of it. And then this one's 16. So you can definitely tell this has a little bit more drilled. The slotting's different styles. And it's just a better all-around, like, even the fins, like, it's a better all-around rotor by extreme amount. And right there, that is, what, 2.4 pounds on one side. So together, that would be, what, 2.4, that's 5 pounds. And you times that by 4, because you're rotational math, that's 20 pounds losing off the nose right there. So this would make a huge difference. Brand new one, this is the old one. So these still had some meat left in them, but you can see a big difference with new and old, and even the style. So this one's kind of like a split in the middle, so it basically will dissipate heat a lot better. So it's going to be a huge difference in braking compared to this one. These were super effing cheap. These were mediumly expensive. So we're going to start throwing on the pads and keep going. All right, so now we're going to ray the rear. So as you can see, these are both CLK 430s, but I'm going with drilled and slotted. They're both the same, 290 millimeters, 10 millimeters wide, but you definitely do feel a little bit. So we're going to see what the factory, or we'll do the factory first. .8, so that's 10.8 pounds. And then this one is, let's zero out, 181.0. So they're 0.8 pounds different. So that's 1.6 for a rotational weight. Then you multiply that by 4. So we lost like another 5 pounds out of the rear of rotational weight. So this definitely will help out a little bit, and they look a little bit cooler. All right, we're gonna go throw them on. Also, make sure with these they got right side and left side. So always put on the right side. All right, so we got the fronts all done. I think they look a little bit cooler. The black will probably wear away, but they definitely look nicer, and they're a lot lighter. And then we get the rears done. Same thing, they fit pretty well. They spin. You know what I mean? You got that standard, just the brand new pad. So we're going to put the wheels back on, drop it down, and we're going to take it for a test drive and see how good. Now we got the 2 new tranny mounts, the single tranny mount, the 2 solid motor mounts, brakes all around. We lost, I don't know, I'll have to look it up. Just say it was like 15, maybe 5, 10 rotational weight pounds. So we definitely should feel that in the car. We're going to drop it, put the wheels back on, see how it looks. All right, so with this, we got the brand new trans mount, the solid motor mounts, and the brakes all around. So we're going to do a little pull in Mexico and see how it feels now, make sure everything's still good. All right, so we got like under a quarter tank of gas. I think we have like, I can actually look it up. We have, where's my thing? 3 gallons of gas, so we're kind of light in the rear. And it's about 90 degrees out, so we'll see if we can hook up still with this setup. Do like a 20 roll. It goes pretty good. We spun a little bit, but I didn't even get the tires warmed up yet, and I think they're still at like 38 PSI. So if I drop the PSI, we'll definitely hook a lot better, or once I get that limited slip. We're gonna try one more. It was basically 80 to 0. Like, the brakes are coming, they're pretty good right now. You definitely smell it a little bit, but I'm super happy. We're gonna pull back in and just check everything out. All right, guys, so overall, we dropped a couple LBs. The car feels night and day difference. There definitely is a little bit of a vibration inside the cab, but I'm dealing with a gutted, well, mostly gutted car, and my seats are welded to the ground, so you definitely feel everything. So for someone who doesn't really want to feel that, maybe you should go with the Black Series mounts, but I'm still very happy with these mounts from Creative Steel. I'll put a link below of where to get them. And these are the straight version. I'm glad I didn't get the race version. And they're affordable. I like them. The brakes did phenomenal. For being like inexpensive brakes, I dropped some LBs. They look cooler, and they're definitely a better quality. I'm super happy. So thanks guys for viewing. If you guys like the thing, put a like down, put a comment down. Make sure you guys follow me on Instagram at BuffyCLK500, and I'll catch you later.